welcome back. Happy holidays to everyone. This will be my last 52 Ways project post before the holiday season. My wife and I, we're headed to Tahoe this break, and it's the first time, and I don't know, if any of you all have been to Lake Tahoe, let me know how it is in the comments below. I would love to hear your experiences. Anyway, we're looking forward to it. We'll be back right before the end of the year. So anyway, today I have a special treat for you all. I had intended on talking about one topic for the 52 Ways project, and you know what? I'm not going to do it today, right? Because there is something completely much more timely that I came across this past weekend, and I'm just excited to tell you all about it. It's a book that I read that was recommended to me by my mentor. The book is called Profit First. Profit First. By Mike Michalowicz, by best-selling author Mike Michalowicz. I highly recommend you pick this up, particularly for those of you who have a banking policy, who have a private banking policy, but also who are self-employed, entrepreneurs, business owners. Pick this book up. You will thank yourself. Okay, this has been an eye-opener for me and a game changer. My wife and I are really looking forward to putting this into practice next year, at the beginning of the year. And if you have a book list that you're putting together for the next year, highly recommend you putting this on it. So let me tell you a little bit about this and what relevancy it has to those of us who are think tankers and who have a banking policy. First and foremost, like the book says, it's all about taking your revenue and actually having your profit be the first thing that you skim off the top, right? All too often we're in this place of we get revenue from our business and expenses are subtracted from that, and all of a sudden we're left with a big old goose egg, $0 to give to yourself. And why that is because of what we call Parkinson's law. Because so as our income rises, our expenses a lot of times will rise to meet the income. Okay, and it's like if you remember in school, you had to write a paper. You were given 2 weeks to write a paper, and you wait till the last minute. But if you were given, and you would get the paper done somehow, some way in one night, right? But if you're giving, you wait, you take the time that's given to you, take the money that's given to you, and you utilize all of it. Essentially, that's just human behavior. And so, what this book says, what Michalowicz says, is that instead of going down that path of revenue minus expenses equals profits, which a lot of times is 0-0, which puts a business in survival mode in a lot of ways. Why not say revenues minus profit, right? Take a percentage for profit equals, your how the business is run. So, equals expenses. So that way, as your expenses, if your expenses aren't covering the way your business is running day to day, that means you got to take a closer look and be more resourceful about what expenses are going where, what is really necessary and what's not, right? Otherwise, you need to bring in more income to justify the expenses of running the business. And so this is how it works. And again, I'm taking the scenic route to get to the point for those of us who are think tankers here. So this is how it works, though. So your income comes in, and you've got, I don't know if you've ever had the envelope system as a kid. You get an allowance, and maybe your parents taught you the envelope system where you set aside some for charity, right? Or you set aside some for college. You set aside some for that bike that you want, right? Same principle here, which is probably why I kind of like it. I mean, I really like this because I used to do this back in the day, and I still do it to a certain extent today as well with my taxes. But anyway, you get the income, your money comes in from business, and you allocate, he gives a target allocation goal, 50% towards your owner's pay, okay? That's what you as the owner are getting paid. 30% towards operating expenses, 5% towards profit, and 15% towards taxes. And again, we can get into why he says 15%. He has a very valid reason. I encourage you to check out, if you're not going to read the full book, check out the summary. There's a lot of resources online. I'd say check this out right here, and I'll put the link in for the summary and some of the one sheets he has, some of the quick one sheets he has for reference. But again, I encourage you to read the entire book. So, how does the this down here speaks to for those who are making $0 to $250,000. This is the allocations he recommends. Again, I've already talked about that. 50% owner's pay, 30% operating expenses, 5% profit, 15% taxes. Again, check out the book. check online around what those actually mean. How does this apply to those of us with banking policies? Here's the deal. He advocates setting up these bank accounts, okay, these checking accounts at your bank, and having money flow in on a percentage basis. But he advocates also the profit and taxes going to a separate bank, a bank that it's going to take you some hoops to jump through, so it won't be as convenient to get to that money, right? Because you don't want to touch your profit. You don't want your profit to be misused. That profit, the idea behind the profit is for you to use it to spend on yourself, to have fun, right? To enjoy the fruits of your labor, okay? So as the business owner. So in the taxes, of course, are for Uncle Sam. So you don't want to touch that either. And so he advocates you putting that in a separate bank account that you cannot touch, that you almost physically have to walk into in order to get access to that money, okay? Here's the deal. I'm absolutely going to do that, but you know what I'm going to use? He calls that the vault. The vault. For us, for those of us with banking policies, instead of settling for 0.5%, your money's sitting in a place where it's only getting 0.5%, the money's getting taxed, why not put it in your banking policy? Duh. For those of us who have the banking policy, not only is it make you think twice about going to access that money for purposes other than what it's meant for, but at the same time, it's not as convenient as going your bill pay at your local bank or at the bank you bank with, okay, or ATM and a debit card. So again, took the scenic route to get to the point here. My point is this: read the book, okay, and as you're reading the book, they don't mention high cash value life insurance, but understand that there is a place for high cash value life insurance in this system. And where that place lies is where you're putting your profits and your taxes. Mike talks about taking a quarterly bonus, 50% of your profits that are in the profit account, taking that and splurging. Have fun. Use that profit to enjoy yourself, go on vacation, whatever the case may be for you. So that's what I wanted to share with you all today. Again, I'm super excited about sharing this book with you, and highly encourage you to check it out. Profits First. Even though they don't mention the banking policy in here, understand that there is absolutely a place for it. And in my opinion, when they talk about where to put your profits, where to put your taxes, wanting to isolate that somewhere else so you don't touch it, the banking policy is the absolute place you should be putting that, okay? All right. I think that's it for today. I'm going to wrap it up. Again, to all of you, if I don't hear from you, happy Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever it is you celebrate, if you celebrate. And for everyone out there, Happy New Year to you, to your prosperity. I'm looking forward to chatting with you guys in 2018. It's going to be fun. We're ready for an amazing year. Thank you.